gosh. Yep, yep. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a freaking show for y'all. This is it. You know, I wouldn't be remiss if I did not address the elephant in the room that I think a lot of you have heard that just came out about 2 hours ago. Pete Thamel and Dan Wetzel over at ESPN just came out earlier and discussed the Michigan situation, which obviously has involved what the punishments are now for what's going on with Sharon Moore and the Michigan Wolverines. We'll discuss that later on. But regardless, guys, we are live. This is the South Carolina Live call-in show. I am your host, as always, Lucas Hill. Open phone lines are going to be available all freaking night. 225-892-2384, 225-892-2384. Or if you want to join in the show, click the link in the YouTube description below. I'm going to go ahead and post the call-in link in the whatchamacallit, the Twitter chat or whatever they call it there. So, guys, go ahead. If you want to get your opinions and if you want to join into the show, hit the link. Just posted it in the stream. I just posted it in the chat. I am excited to get really, really excited whenever it comes to all of this. Because let's just be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to discuss, especially when it comes to something like this. And I think it's very important that we discuss this because I think it's so funny that a program like Michigan is going to get vindicated over this. That we have programs like all around the SEC that have done this for years. How do I know this? Lucas, how the hell do you know all this that's going on? I think it's pretty obvious from what you see on the on-field product. But what the hell? But what do I know? What do I know? But that's my opinion, guys. I mean, I don't think it should be any real secret as to what has been going on around college football, what has been going on around South Carolina, around where Michigan is at this current state. We'll get to that in just a bit. We'll discuss it further. We'll discuss the I would almost call it hypocritical of what the NCAA has done and how inconsistent that they have been with all of this. How inconsistent they have continued to be. And how many media outlets. I got vindicated for my opinion on this. I said Stalions didn't do anything wrong. He was doing what a scout typically does. He did a job, and he was pretty freaking good at it, if we're being real, and we talk about this. Just saying, guys. But, again, you could disagree with me. That's completely okay. But I got vindicated around Big Ten Mafia for my takes on this. But you know what? I'm fine with that. Come after me. Please do so. But again, guys, give me your comments down below. Jay Sewell from X, thank you so much for joining the show. Scouting is scouting. If your signals are so obvious and easy to decipher, then that is on you as a coaching staff. I see zero problem with stealing signals. Their teams are so bad at disguising their tendencies. Somebody needs to pin that because that is, could not agree more. Could not agree more. I find it very funny whenever you have a program like that and how you look on, if you guys really pay attention to film, like all 22 film, go look at it. You get a side, when you get a wide angle of a play that is about to be run, you can see the sideline. It's not like the sideline is freaking invisible. You can see the signals that are being blown in, especially if you have a freeze call and you make a check off at the line of scrimmage and you look at the signals on the other side. You're going to get a good, reasonable look at what is being signaled in. It ain't rocket science, guys. I used to do scouting at the high school level. If you know a team's tendencies, then you know their signals. It's not rocket science. Thank you. Thank you. Look at the freaking film. And the fact that I'm not even mad about the punishment. The punishment is what it is. There's nothing Michigan can do about it now. Here's what I'm most pissed off about when it comes to this. It's the fact that you have had 4 years of the NCAA targeting Michigan over this. You've had 4 freaking years of going after this program over and over and over again. It's the monkey that has continued to be on Michigan's back for so long. It's not even funny anymore. It is ridiculous how bad it has gotten with the NCAA pressing on Michigan with this current situation that they face. And the punishment, slap on the wrist. $20 million fine. We get another 25 from donors. We'll be good. That's nothing. Sharon Moore suspended for 2 games. But my thing is that you have Jim Harbaugh that gets a show clause, which I expected. Stallions gets a show clause. Denard Robertson getting a show clause, though? I know his name came up a few times, but dadgum. Why is Denard Robertson in the middle of this? Please, if somebody can please explain to me why Robinson is in the show clause, I would love to know. Somebody hit me up in my DMs or whatever, and please explain this to me because I really need to know. You know, we've had multiple outlets that have already just gone insanely nuts over this whole situation. And the media is just a freaking joke when it comes to this, man. I mean, just an absolute joke. Pete Thamel had a freaking meltdown on McAfee about this. And I found it so funny that this was the case.
What they got instead was my perpetually flaccid dinger. These punishments were like AJ Hawk having a microphone. Completely pointless. You guys never let him talk. Today's an incredibly sad day for me and my boyfriend Ryan Day. You know, I made a career out of
that's funny. That's funny. Hey, look, AI is something else, bro. AI is probably one of the best inventions that's ever been made, man. But I do think if you're an Ohio State fan, to be honest, really, you need to get over yourself. You have lost to Michigan the last 21, 22, 23, 4 times. The last 2 years, you could make a statement and say that there was no science. Actually, there was no science stealing in 23 or 24. Now, I don't know about 21 or 22. I don't think that's the case. They can have their own opinions on there. 23, 24, you have no excuse. 0. if you think that we need to excuse what you refuse to do by adjusting, that's on you. That's a freaking joke that you expect to basically get leniency from the NCAA because, oh, you got mistreated throughout this whole thing. Shut up. You're a freaking joke. And I hope you really hear that, to be honest, because because apparently I'm delusional whenever it comes to things like this. And I'll show you my tweet on what I put out earlier about this, because this was downright ridiculous. And the feedback that I got from our own media circle here at the Voice of College Football was insane. You can go look at it for yourself. But I mean, look at this. I just said the NCAA has screwed Michigan once again. He didn't do anything wrong. If you're mad and claim sign stealing, brother, that's been going on in college football for the longest times. Change your signals next time. Quit using the same ones over and over. The comments and the retweets I got were funny. I'll excuse this as trolling. Don't want to choose any obvious logical labels there. Purchasing tickets for different games of potential college football playoff opponents is a little more than sign stealing. This whole thing has been about sign stealing, though. Really? My guy TJ Ronan talking about this and says, let it be known. You ready to go?
I was going to get that sun machine out.
Okay. Hey, guys, let me take a quick break real fast. Stay with us. We'll be right back in just a minute. 225-892-2384 is the call-in link. 225-892-2384. Want to thank our good friends over at Amazon for helping sponsor this video. And for more information, here's Mark.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football. College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Actually, 225-892-2384, 225-892-2384. We are back once again, ladies and gentlemen. But that was my takes on this one, guys. We've just had a lot come in over the last several minutes. And it's just been so funny seeing the reactions from many different fans around college football, whether it be Michigan, Ohio State, Big Ten fans. I'm an SEC guy, and I'm giving my take. And I think that Michigan kind of got screwed in the whole situation. That's just my own opinion when it comes to this. And the fact of the matter is, guys, is that at the end of the day, there's nothing that you can do other than realize that you have a program to back. And I think if you're Michigan, you're taking this with a grain of salt, and you're going to have to move forward. You have nothing more that you could do. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day. God bless them. That's all I can say. Former Gamecock Robbie Ashford has been named the starting quarterback over at Wake Forest. Interesting enough to see that at the end of the day. I think Ashford is still one of those guys that has never really developed into a good quarterback. I never thought he was going to be very good whenever he came to SC last year. I thought he was just going to be a journeyman guy majority of his career, which he has. But we'll see what he does with what this Rob Ezell offense is going to bring. Jake Dickert, obviously coming from Washington State, brings a lot of experience there as a former defensive guy. Look, you got to have a guy with some experience. Ashford's that. Do I think that he can be an effective runner whenever it comes to him leading a Wake Forest offense? Sure. Do I think it's going to happen, though? No, probably not. I think his passing accuracy is not there. Decision-making wise, he hasn't been the best. But again, guys, we'll just have to see what happens from here on out. If things do change, hey, that'd be awesome. If you have anything else to say about what we can expect from a guy like Robbie Ashford and expectations that'll be held with him at Wake Forest, we'll see. I like Robbie Ezell. I think he did a great job with Gio Lopez. But let's just be honest with each other. Gio Lopez is a much better quarterback than what Robbie Ashford was. Now, can things change? Absolutely. Do I think it will, though? No, not at all. Guys, 156 of you are in here already. Make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that heart. Hit that retweet button as well. Share to all those friend groups as well. This is the South Carolina Live Call-In Show. Again, join the link in the StreamYard. It is in the X chat and is also in the YouTube chat as well. So make sure you guys tune on in for all of that. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much that you have to consider. How does this affect Michigan at the end of the day when it comes to recruiting? How does it affect South Carolina? Because there's two guys that I think could make a significant impact. And really, really, I think if you are a SC fan, you have to understand that with the $20+ million fine in postseason revenue over the next 2 years, which is nothing, by the way. We knew the $20 million fine was going to come shortly after the season. I don't think that it's going to affect Michigan whenever it comes to NIL, but you do look at where recruits are at the end of the day. Carter Meadows, who's a hard commit. He's been hard commit since last month. You look at where Julian Walker was, who committed to Michigan last month from Irmo, South Carolina. Could he end up flipping? Number 3 player in the state of South Carolina. Does he have an opportunity now that you have this situation going on? Could he end up flipping his commitment? I don't know. But I think Walker is a guy that does have a tendency to flip. He took an official visit out to South Carolina back in June. I like Walker. Big body guy. I think he's a guy that I think can really, really impact your offenses at the end of the day. In fact, I think one of the first offers that he got was from South Carolina. That was his first offer, according to 247 at least. So I think that's really intriguing that you're able to keep him in that system, really able to keep him in that South Carolina area, which we've been hampering on for the last several weeks. So, I mean, you have to understand with what this means at the end of the day for Connor Stallions, what it means for. Okay, bye. Huh? No. Instagram's not on. I've got over 100 people joined in, so. Bye. Love you too.
Bye. Hey, everybody. Have a good stream.
225-892-2384, 225-892-2384. Once again, we talked about the commits that are currently in South Carolina right now and how this Michigan situation is going to affect recruiting for Michigan. You look at 2 guys that South Carolina was in the running for with Carter Meadows and with Julian Walker. Remember, Julian Walker's first offer was from South Carolina. We mentioned that already. Carter Meadows was really, really close to potentially flipping to South Carolina from Michigan. And you may think I'm crazy, but guys, they were him and Tavares Robertson were developing a really, really good relationship with one another. And that was positive seeing what came through from the Walker camp. Of course, you would have liked to have seen men being a Gamecock. But again, you really can't ask for anything other than what Meadows was able to do. Again, yeah, Meadows and Julian Walker had South Carolina as one of their first offers coming out of high school. Meadows got the South Carolina offer in March of 24. Julian Walker got the South Carolina offer in June of 24. So pretty close together. Damn near could have been able to nab him at the end of the day. But I do think that the culture shift of what's going on in Michigan, I think it's going to fuel them more to stay a Wolverine than it does for them to flip at the end of the day. But again, we'll see what the NCAA penalties mean for recruiting-wise for South Carolina, for Michigan. How does that affect recruiting? I think it's not really going to do a whole lot. But again, we're in the age where money matters when it comes to recruiting at the highest level. I could be wrong. We all could have different opinions on this. Again, we'll see what happens once we get to the nitty-gritty of where we are with South Carolina or with both programs at the end of the day. What else we got going on here today? Rasul Faison. Still no answer, guys. We know that he's cleared to practice. We know that we've heard a lot about him potentially being eligible by the time we get to next week. You know, we've heard rumblings all around the Faison camp, and I tweeted out that we could be receiving a potential word within the next few weeks. And this was, I think, this past Tuesday that I tweeted this out. But again, I think that it's really, really intriguing to see that there has yet to have been an answer from where South Carolina is at with this Faison situation. I think it's egregious, absolutely egregious, that there has yet to have been an answer when it comes to this. And I think that you need to, if you're the NCAA, this is out of the way now that you have the Faison situation out of the way. Or no, not the Faison, but the Michigan situation out of the way. Can you finally focus on the Faison situation? Can you get him eligible? Can you say, yes, we're going to let you play? This is ridiculous that we're waiting so long for this BS to happen. It really is. And you can disagree with me with all that I have to say about this. I don't really care, because I tell it how it is. The NCAA has time and time again continued to keep things hidden from us and continue to vindicate kids like Faison, who wants to play, believe it or not. And I think it's so funny that you have yet to even received any sort of freaking answer. And the NCAA says, well, we're busy. No, you're not. You're sitting on your freaking ass. Don't tell me you're busy. Don't give me that garbage. And you can hate me for this. I don't want to hear it, to be honest with you. I really don't. He's cleared to practice, but he can't play. Does that make any sense? But this is the NCAA for you, man. If you are unaware of what the NCAA's tactics are, guys, believe me, it is a cluster F. A cluster F when it comes to this. I'm not going to say the full word, because I know I've got probably family friends out there that probably don't want to hear that come out of my mouth, and I'm pretty much better than that, and I'm not. But this is what the NCAA has done time and time again. Is it anything new for me? No. Should it be anything new for you? No, it is not. You would like for things to go your way, but realistically, it's just not, guys. It just won't. But once again, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. 225-892-2384, 225-892-2384. When you look at where South Carolina is at this current time, what is the one thing that you look at with this program, and what is one thing that you're concerned about with this team? I've already discussed this, and I've already said that it has to be the linebacking core and the offensive line. We'll see. So, apparently, there's an NCAA conference call right now, because this is actually kind of breaking news. They've reached a portion of the NCAA conference call where a question has come from bucknuts.com. Oh, Lord. And Steve Hellwagon came out, who was part of Bucknuts. He said, Pat, I did not name the site Bucknuts247, but you know me and you know I have been side by side with you at major events for about 30 years. The question had to be asked by somebody. I'm curious to see what the question was. And apparently this is a cheap, this is a pretty cheap shot by a capital J journalist at a group that does a fun job of calling college football. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's kind of crappy what Pat Ford did. The fact that you came out and said class like this, but this could be a joke. I don't know if it is or not, but again, shout out Steve Hellwagon over at bucknuts.com. They do a good job of doing some stuff over there. But yeah, man, that's just, most of this is just ridiculous, guys. It really is. So, but yes, the hammer has dropped. If for those of you that missed the first part of the show, the national championship stays. There's no wins that are going to be vacated, and there's no postseason ban. I don't think that there's any sort of anything wrong with that. I had a feeling that this was not going to be the case. I didn't think that it was going to end up going any further than we'll give you a slap on the wrist, especially with what the NCAA has done before. Now, am I upset about this? No, not at all. But I do think that at the end of the day, this is something that you should have seen come a long time ago. I think it's something that should be very, very obvious. It should be something that that we called would happen a few years ago, whenever this first came out. But again, I mean, you're talking about a program like what this program has done, essentially just to keep itself from being vindicated around college football. Let's talk about the wide receiver group from South Carolina. Because from what I'm hearing around fall camp, this freaking receiver room is one of the best in college. Could be one of the best that South Carolina has had in quite some time. And I don't say that being facetious. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that when you look at where this program is at this current moment, holy cow, you better be ready. We're hearing some great things from guys like Mazio Bennett. We're hearing great things from Nick Harbor. I know they said they were dropping a few passes throughout camp. All good. Because you better be ready. This is going to be a very fun season if you're South Carolina. This is going to be one of those years that I think many, many people are going to get ready for this, and they're going to be completely baffled by what this program is going to be in the few years that is to come. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of fun at the end of the day, man. I'm really excited to see what happens. Really, really excited, man. Really, really, really stoked by what South Carolina is going to bring from that receiver room. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. 225-892-2384, 225-892-2384. And they say that Connor Stallions was, in fact, on the sidelines to steal Michigan State's signals. He says he threw his phone into the pond to delete evidence. Okay. Whatever. And apparently it's called the KGB of what he put together. I mean, what? I don't know, man. It's just so weird. I don't really know what to think about this whole situation because it's so complicated having to deal with all of this stupidity that is currently going on about what they've done to this program. But hell, man, I could be wrong. I could be one of the stupidest people on this planet to believe something like that. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are. I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications so that you are notified every time we go live here on Carolina Live. We'll see you guys next week. We'll see you guys back on Wednesday. We'll have some updated news, by the way. Actually. Big update. We will now be going live Mondays and Wednesdays. Same time, same place, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern for our South Carolina Live show. We'll do our call-in show on Wednesday as we prepare for the season. We're going to get into the groove. We're excited to get after it, guys. We're excited to hear what all of you have to say. So, guys, we're excited. I hope you are too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm ready to get after it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys hit me up in the socials at Lucas Hill SEC. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay blessed. Don't stress. Have a great rest of the day.